Right, there we go. Welcome in, everybody. I see people starting to connect. I hope everybody's having a great start to their day. We have a great presentation for you today. Just bear with us while we let people funnel in. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for people to properly connect, so I want to give everybody a good chance to do that. Right. We're going to probably get started around, we're going to try to get started at 12, but if I see people still trying to connect, I'm going to give them an extra minute. So just bear with us. I appreciate your patience. Go. Welcome, welcome. Just another minute or so to give everybody a chance. See a few more people funneling in. All right, I think that should be plenty of time. All right, without further ado, I'll kick things off. So, hello everyone. My name is William Mucker. I am a client executive with Camel and I would like to thank you all for joining us for today's webinar. Is this the Shopify killer with Greg Ryder of Launchcart? As a quick note, please be aware that we'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. However, feel free to use the chat and/or Q&A function on your screen to post your questions whenever they cross your mind. They will be saved and addressed once the presentation portion ends and the Q&A portion begins. Before we get started, we do have a brief disclosure to go through. Everything presented in today's webinar is strictly for educational purposes. Plan is a neutral third-party administrator of IRAs. We are not attorneys, CPAs, or financial advisors. If it comes to a time where you need advice in any one of those fields, we highly recommend you consult with your team of professionals. We are more than happy to be a part of the dialogue with your team of professionals to make sure the investment process is quick and seamless. We do not sell any investments at Plan, nor do we endorse any products. We will never call you about the next best investment opportunity. We believe that you should always do your own due diligence before investing your money, whether it be your retirement funds or otherwise. Once you have found the investment that is right for you, we will help you open your account, fund that account, and facilitate the transaction into that investment. Here is our contact information if you or anyone that you know who you believe can benefit from the information have any questions about what is discussed in the presentation today, how it applies to self-direction, please do not hesitate to contact us. We'd be more than happy to help. And without further ado, I'll pass the controls over to you, Greg.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I sure appreciate it.
Of course.
Hi, everybody. Greg Ryder here, CEO and founder of Launchcart. And I don't know if you guys have your coffee and you're ready to go, but with me, you're not going to need any coffee because I'm a very high energy guy. I'm very passionate. I'm excited. I just turned 63 years old and a former investment banker. I understand creating wealth through equities. And now I am an entrepreneur, having spent 20 years of my life raising money for companies and taking companies public. So I'm a very unique entrepreneur in that I really do have a background in capital markets. I'm a capitalist, I'm free enterprise, and I love America. I'm a big giant patriot. So my goal for today really is to share with you this vision that I have that God has given me and through some really bad mishaps that we had that I'm going to share with you today to really transform the e-commerce landscape and take market share from e-commerce in the e-commerce landscape. And it's very disruptive. And I'm going to make some assumptions that you guys understand what e-commerce is and some of these terms like drop shipping. But if you don't, just please write your questions down. I'll ask all your questions. And then the idea would be I give you enough information to persuade you that this is worth a follow-up call with me personally to talk about if this is good for your investment portfolio. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and share my screen. Make sure I got the sound, share. Okay, boom. So one of the first things I want to share with you is we are positioned as America's preferred e-commerce platform. And I say that because the biggest player in e-commerce is Shopify. They're Canadian. And they're, in my world, the Patriot world, they're best known for canceling Donald Trump and literally thousands of other conservatives. Now, with that being said, I want you to notice I say the future is on-demand e-commerce. I was taught by one of my mentors that if you want to be significant, you have to be number one or two in the category. Well, because you got Amazon and Shopify is number one and number two in these marketplaces and SaaS platforms, I said, okay, well, let me create my own category. Excuse me. And you're going to see how that comes through as we get going. So I'm going to share with you just the big idea in 39 words. This is like the elevator pitch. Launchcart is creating an on-demand digital marketing platform with an integrated source and sell B2B marketplace and including banking as a service. That's a little bit of our fintech play. Simplifying marketing, automation, product sourcing, supply side logistics for entrepreneurs, small business owners, influencers, and brands worldwide. Now, obviously, we're focused here in the United States now, but as you watch this presentation, consider this is a global concept that can go all around the globe. So I'm going to start with your typical slides. What's our total addressable market? Global e-commerce is expected to hit 7.4 trillion by the end of this year. The marketplaces like Amazon and Walmart and eBay expect to hit 3.323 trillion. So that's the big, that's the total addressable market. We're going to talk about the serviceable available market. This is the market that we're going after, and it's currently referred to as global drop shipping. And the drop shipping business mostly drop ships a lot of products from China, and we're going to talk about that a lot. And we're going to talk about how we're going to replace that and get rid of that. But the SAM, our serviceable available market, is expected to hit 372 billion this year and 476 billion in 2026. And the statistics say that 27% of online retailers, online sellers, are now using some form of drop shipping in their business model. Okay. And again, I'm assuming if you guys don't know what drop shipping is where we sell a product of somebody else owns and they drop ship it to our customer. Okay. So when you start looking at the serviceable available market, I said, okay, I got to figure out how many sellers are there out there. And so we did our research and we found out there was 9.1 million sellers on Amazon. And maybe you aren't aware of this, but Amazon literally is made up from mom and pop, small business owners, brands and manufacturers who list their products on Amazon, and they do all the fulfillment, and Amazon that just provides them a marketplace. Okay, 9.1 million sellers on Amazon, 5 million sellers on Etsy, 3 million sellers on a platform called WooCommerce, 4.4 million sellers, and that's actually up a million in like last six or 8 months, or maybe a year, maybe, but it since I did this slide, it's been a while. 4.4 million, 18 million sellers on eBay. Okay, so that's a total of 39,500,000 sellers that are using these platforms to sell. So if we multiply that by 27%, we come up with our SAM, our serviceable marketers, 10,665,000 customers. So that's who we're going after. 10 million. That's our market. And again, to kind of put this in perspective, as far as the dominant players and the market cap and the upside, obviously you understand that there's risks and there's rewards in every investment opportunity. And I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't believe I could create a unicorn and get to multi-billion-dollar market caps. Amazon's up there, Shopify is up there. Like this screenshot I did when Shopify was 83.6 billion, I looked at a couple days ago, it was 130 billion market caps for eBay. But these are all the big players, and their market caps are huge. And you're going to see as I go through this presentation, we will be taking just a little bit of market share from every single one of these players, right? So whether it's 10,000 or 100,000, we're going to take a little bit of market share from all these players and get to that billion-dollar market cap. I will point out over here, BigCommerce, publicly traded company, 598 billion or million. When I looked at this, they had about 60,000 customers. Okay, so then what I did one day, I took a screenshot, and Shopify was at 138 billion-dollar market cap, and that was right before election day. And then the day after election day, you can see the stock shot up, and they went up like 20-30 billion dollars after President Trump got elected. So I kind of did some math. I said, okay, if they have $138 billion market cap and they have 4.4 million customers, I did the math. They got a $1 billion valuation for every 31,887 customers. Now, I don't know about you, but there's very few sectors, there's very few verticals, there's very few business models where you can basically hit $1 billion valuation with only 31,000 customers. Now, am I saying we're going to do that? No, but I do believe if we get to 150,000 customers, we should be at $1 billion valuation. And as we start to implement our plan, I think we could be multi-billion-dollar valuation. That's why I'm here, and that's why you guys listen to me. So now as we roll into our solutions, our solution is threefold. It's Launchcart, and Launchcart is a SaaS platform, a direct competitor to Shopify, a direct competitor to BigCommerce, a direct competitor to BigCommerce and WooCommerce. And then we're building this thing called the Source and Sell Marketplace. Excuse me. And then we're also got a little fintech play, and we're building and architecting a split payment processing system that incorporates also banking as a service. Now, the left-hand side is done. We're up and running. We got customers. The marketplace and the banking as a service is what we're using the capital to kind of bring into marketplace. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to play a video for you. And this video for you shares with you how we came to this point, right? All great ideas that were invented was to solve a pain point. And I'm going to share with you a very, very painful part of my history. And I think you're going to come clean, you're only understand how we got here. So let me pull this video up and here we go.
You put yourself in a situation where you have to give 50,000 refunds. Think about that, 50,000 refunds. That's what happened to us. And that was the catalyst that gave us this vision to create LaunchCart, the source and sell marketplace, and then banking as a service. So let me tell you the story. So we started doing e-commerce for celebrities and helping launch brands and managing their e-commerce. And while doing this, we thought to ourselves, God, we need to create our own platform. This platform really isn't that good. So we started this idea to create our own e-commerce platform. Concurrently, we said, hey, let's get into the drop shipping space, and we'll drop ship stuff from China so we can kind of figure out the pain points. So as we're building our platform, we can solve the problems of drop shipping. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Next thing you know, we're doing $1 million a month, $1.5 million a month, and even sometimes $2 million a month. So we sold 400,000 people a product. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty impressive, right? That's the good news. The bad news is our suppliers in China only delivered 350,000 products, not the last 50,000 products. So we said to ourselves, well, we got to do the right thing. We're men of integrity. Let's just give refunds. So we started giving refunds, thinking, okay, we're going to take our loss. We got kicked in the teeth. We're going to take our loss. We're going to do what we have to do. We started giving refunds. And we're thinking, okay, we're going to take our loss, but we'll get back. We'll just keep going and keep blowing and going, right? Wrong, because guess what happened? Every merchant account, every bank account, within 45 days got shut down, and we were out of business. Think about it. We were doing $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million a month in revenues profitably, using that money to build LaunchCart, and the next thing you know, we're out of business. That's the bad news. The good news is the vision's got even clearer, and here we are 4 years later, LaunchCart's up and running. We've got customers, we have our LaunchCart CRM, we have our LaunchCart Academy, and we have our Launch Ads, and we got great technology, and now we're getting ready to build the source and sell marketplace with our split payment banking as a service merchant system. Hey, my name is Greg Ryder, CEO and founder of LaunchCart, and thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video. Our vision is to create this e-commerce digital marketing platform that really takes all of the pain points and gets rid of them and really lowers the barrier of entry for anybody to get into one of the hottest verticals on the globe, and that's e-commerce. And right now, there's a lot of people out there providing a lot of tools. You got to integrate with this one, integrate with that one. And our goal is to make an all-in-one e-commerce platform where you can just get everything you need. Now, when we talk about the problems that entrepreneurs face, we first talk about technology and integrations and how difficult it is to build something and integrate something. So we designed our platform to be easy, speed to market, and really get something up and going fast. 2 is product sourcing. Now, maybe I have a product that I invented or that I make, but in order to be successful online, you need to have a store. You need to have multiple products. And when you think about the combination of an e-commerce platform that really is just like an alternative to Shopify or BigCommerce or WooCommerce, the other platforms out there, and then the source and sell marketplace, which really is a marketplace that we allow brands and manufacturers to upload their products into the marketplace, program their wholesale costs and the shipping information, then allowing LaunchCart sellers, as well as Shopify sellers, BigCommerce sellers, and other sellers around the globe to connect to the source and sell marketplace and click a button and have products to drop ship. Now, right now, you can do this on Alibaba and AliExpress and Orbelo and Markel and these different drop shipping marketplaces, but 90% of the products are from China. I want to get rid of China. I thought that was a bad experience. I thought that was a bad business thing. So we thought to ourselves, okay, if we build our marketplace, how do we attract real brands? How do we get real brands involved in this direct-to-consumer dropshipping space? Okay, we came up with this one. The pain point is they want the customer data. Other marketplaces aren't giving them the customer data. 2, they want to get paid. They want to guarantee that they're getting paid. And 3, they want to be able to protect their brand. So we said to ourselves, well, because we own the LaunchCart e-commerce platform, and we own the source and sell marketplace, as we integrate those 2, we can give the brands and manufacturers permissions to lock things down on the e-commerce side to help protect their brand. Number 1. Number 2, we can build a banking as a service split payment system that when you sign up for the marketplace, you get a bank account. When you sign up for LaunchCart, you get a bank account. So when you buy something from any LaunchCart store, we're going to split the payment out, and so the brand or manufacturer that's going to drop ship that product gets paid instantly. So therefore, me as the seller, I never touch that brand or manufacturer's money. It automatically gets sent to them. Now think about that. The pain point that solved for an entrepreneur of all the accounting, when we did 400,000 sales, the accounting was a nightmare. We had hundreds of vendors shooting 50 grand here and 100 grand here and 200 grand here and 50 grand here to people we'd never even done business with. Now, what this allows us to do, and this is where this goes, and why this is so exciting, and this is what we'll be focusing on, is what we call niche marketplace stores on demand. So what do you mean, Greg? Well, think of Golf Digest. Golf Digest gets 1.3 million visitors a month. 1.3 million visitors a month, right? They don't have an e-commerce store, but we know that those Golf Digest visitors, those golfers, we know they buy Adidas, we know they buy TaylorMade, we know they buy Ping and Under Armour, Puma, and Nike, just to mention a few, right? So Golf Digest could say, hey, we're going to create an e-commerce store. Let's negotiate with Adidas and TaylorMade and Ping and Under, and they could go to each one of these brands one at a time and say, hey, we want to sell your stuff. Will you drop ship it for us? And we'll write the technology. We'll plug into your 3PLs. We'll plug into your fulfillment systems. They could do it, but they're not going to. So our vision is, boom, we go to them. We leverage our relationships and we onboard these brands and we tie into their legacy systems, their new systems, their 3PLs, their fulfillment centers, and we tie everything into the marketplace. Then we go to Golf Digest, go, hey, Golf Digest, guess what? We can create you a store and click a button and there's Under Armour, click a button, there's Ping, click a button, there's Puma, click a button, there's Adidas, click a button, there's TaylorMade. Literally build entire stores with the brands that these golfers already buy in a matter of minutes. And then when people buy stuff from the Golf Digest store, the order flow goes back to the marketplace and then goes back to the respective brand. This is the brilliance of our vision, because now Golf Digest has no risk. They're making money off their traffic. The brands love it because they already got the traffic, they already got the trust, and it'd be a way for them to launch new brands and things of that nature. And of course, LaunchCart will take a transaction fee on all of this volume that goes through this platform. And the key is that split payment merchant system that we're building, right? So again, the entrepreneur can go to the source and sell marketplace, click a button, add products to their store to sell. When they sell something from their store, they get the commission that goes into their wallet or their bank account. The cost of goods and the shipping goes to the brand manufacturer. All the information goes directly to the company that's going to provide or quote unquote drop ship that product. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. And it just adds the ability to just remove pain points and do things that no one else in the marketplace is doing. And let me say one other thing about this. Because we came from the digital marketing world and we're really, really good at digital marketing. I mean, we went from 0 to 400,000 sales in 9 months. That's an indication you know what you're doing. We are building into this platform what we call revenue optimization tools, order bumps, upsells, downsells. We believe in this concept of funnel marketing, where somebody comes and buys something from you and then you offer them something else and something else. Because there's only 3 ways to increase your revenues. But here they are. Get more customers, increase the price of your product, and then increase the frequency of how many times your customer buys from you. So we're going to take technology that involves artificial intelligence, predictive analytics, and our knowledge of funnel marketing and digital marketing, and we're going to make it so easy that a person clicks a button and upsells will be created automatically based on predictive analytics. And as an example of what I'm talking about, if you've shopped at Amazon, which I'm sure you have, it always says, people who bought this, and gives you 3 choices. That's predictive analytics. And it's getting better and better and better. So imagine if you have a LaunchCart store tied to the source and sell marketplace, and you say, yeah, allow upsells based on predictive analytics, and you come to my store and you buy some coffee. And then the predictive analytics says, oh, this person's looking for a French press, but I don't sell French presses. It goes to the marketplace, grabs a French press, puts it in front of the buyer, seller adds it to the cart, checks out. Now me as a seller, I get more commission. The brand and manufacturer gets money because they just sold a French press, and I just connected an upsell with having to create a page, having to create an upsell, having to do all the hard work, because most entrepreneurs cannot figure out the technology to make that happen. This is the vision of where we want to go with LaunchCart and our complete technology stack. And again, to simplify that and recap that, you got the LaunchCart e-commerce platform, you got the source and sell marketplace, and then you got this banking as a service. So I want to say thanks for watching the overview video, but most importantly, as you're considering investing in LaunchCart, I want you to think of this. It's what I call risk reducers. And risk reducers are things that reduce risk. Now, obviously, there's risk in every investment you make. You could lose all your money. So if you're thinking about investing, go into it knowing that you can lose all of your money. But you always look at the risk and the reward. How much am I risking? All of it. What's my potential reward, right? And you think of what's called the risk reducers. And our risk reducers, we're up and running. We've had over 47,000 people build a store on our platform since we launched our MVP. We're generating revenues. We've got technology. We have a vision that's unheard of. It's very disruptive. We're going to reimagine dropshipping. We're going to reinvent dropshipping, and we're going to disrupt the dropshipping industry globally. And with your investment capital, you're giving us the capital to grow our team, to grow our development team, and enhance, I should say, accelerate at what point we're growing. So I want to say thanks again, appreciate you, and I always end my videos by saying, do what I do, wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude, and tell somebody you love them.
Okay, so we made that video, and I thought that video just does such a great, real clear understanding. And again, I can't tell you, if you're not sitting in the world of e-commerce like I am, you don't understand the significance of that the complexity for us that we're going to solve is off the charts. And the blue oceans that it opens up and the different marketplace that opens up is a significant game changer for the e-commerce industry and gives us massive, massive upside. So let me go back to my screen again. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to kind of get going here. I just wanted you guys to see.
You put yourself.
Okay, so we officially launched our MVP, or no, our product in 2022 to compete against Shopify. And you can see these blue check marks here that we went up against Shopify. And Shopify is built on this technology where you got it's like they add this on cost extra, add this on cost extra, add this on cost extra. And so we built into our platform what we call the must-haves and should-haves. And I'm not going to go too much into that, but that's what was our go-to-market strategy for that. The marketplace, which we just covered, is massive. And so the next thing I want to show you is, well, that didn't work. What's going on there?
Are you a brand or?
So the next thing I want to show you is I'm one of these guys that I kind of believe in this concept of writing goals and speaking things and having faith. And so I created this video that you're getting ready to watch. And this doesn't exist. This is what we're building with the investment capital, but I made a video as if it does exist so you can see the vision of what's going on. So this is a video we made that we would use to market to brands and manufacturers.
Are you a brand or manufacturer looking to expand your sales channels without the hassle? With one single connection, our solution allows you to connect your products to a world of new distribution opportunities. Managing wholesale relationships can be complex and time-consuming. But what if you could automate this process and reach hundreds, even thousands of new sellers? Introducing our Source and Sell Marketplace, a revolutionary middleware that seamlessly connects your products to an extensive network of retailers. With just a few clicks, we pull your product catalog into our platform, making it available to a vast network of sellers eager to resell your products, all while you maintain control over where products are sold, the pricing, and your brand's image. No inventory headaches, no complex negotiations, just increased sales, broader product distribution, and orders flowing directly back to your existing system for fulfillment. You'll be impressed with how seamless this is. Expand your reach effortlessly. Book a demo with us today to get started.
So that was a video we created for the brands and manufacturers.
Are you a brand or?
And again, the idea is that you got all those brands and those products, and we're connecting to their existing technology. So we're not, the lift for them is very minimal. We connect to their Shopify store. We connect to their Amazon store. We pull the products into the marketplace, and from there we can push them into LaunchCart stores all over the world, okay? And again, the split payment system, here's another graphic. No matter what they pay with their credit cards, they pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay, cryptocurrencies. It goes through the LaunchCart system, and then the commissions are held, and then the products get, the payment, each person gets paid, but the seller never touches, in this instance, the copy or the print on demand or the gross. It doesn't get access to it. So now you have the 16-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, the 20-year-old influencers. They can make money in commissions, but never risking the brand not getting paid or hurting the brand's credibility, right? And we show this in the video.
Attention, drop.
Now this is one more video that I did that talks to the drop shippers. So now we said, okay, that one's for the brands and manufacturers. This is a little minute video for the drop shippers.
Attention, drop shippers. If you are looking for a hassle-free way to source new products on demand for your store, we've got you covered. Gain easy access to name brands shipped from the USA. Say goodbye to inventory costs and hello to a new world of opportunity and increased revenue for your online store. Finding the right products that relate to your audience can be challenging, so we've made it easy. And don't forget about the high costs associated with maintaining physical inventory. Guess what? Working with us on our unique platform, You'll never have to worry about this. With our cutting-edge technology, the Source and Sell Marketplace, you can browse and add products from established brands directly to your store with a few simple clicks of a button. Brands like these household names are just a few of the trusted brands supplying products to our sellers nationwide. There are no upfront inventory costs and no fulfillment headaches. Just search by keyword or brand and discover products that align with your store's niche or what your customers are looking for. Then, click to add them to your e-commerce storefront and start selling immediately. It's really that simple. Sell at retail prices, pay wholesale, and watch the profits roll in. We handle the technical complexities so you can focus on what you do best, building your brand and selling. Transform and enhance your retail strategy with the next big thing in e-commerce, on-demand e-commerce. Join our movement today and start scaling your brand and online sales like never before. The possibilities are truly endless when you partner up with Launch Collective.
So you kind of notice everything's Launch. We have Launch Collective, we have Launch Academy, we have Launch Ads, all that kind of stuff. So hey, guys, give me a little feedback in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, as far as those videos explaining the vision and what's unique about us and where we're going, give me a scale of 1 to 10 and put in the chat box what you guys thought of those videos and how they explained our vision. And then what I want to do is I'm going to kind of show you a couple other blue ocean strategies and things that kind of really set us apart and what we're doing there. Okay, so give me some feedback and I'll go back to my screen. There we go. So again, this idea of niche marketplace on demand, I don't need to say this again because we did this in the video, but Golf Digest is just one example. Another example would be country clubs. You know, there's like 15, 16,000 golf courses and country clubs in the country. 98% of them have a website, but 98% of them do not have e-commerce. Why? Because they don't pick, pack, and ship, but yet they have the customer. The customer walks in and maybe he's buying some clubs, maybe buying some golf apparel, maybe buying something. And if they had the way for them to shop from inside the store on a little iPad or a kiosk, or they could buy online, they can increase their revenues with no inventory up front, no bookkeeping, no accounting. They got the customer. Okay. Another blue ocean for that is high schools and colleges. Like think about all the colleges nationwide that have all the students and all their merch and all their t-shirts and they're all buying baseball bats and footballs and all that kind of stuff. So that'd be another one, right? So the bottom line is with this strategy of niche marketplace on demand, we open up blue ocean everywhere, all kinds of verticals, everything from surfboard and skateboard to snowboard to all the sports and skiing and veterinaries and fishing. There's all these people, all these retailers that have the customer but can't do e-commerce, right? So we have speed to create a store in minutes, right? Payment, funds are transferred to the brand or manufacturer, their escrow wallet at the point of sale. We can also protect the brand. We can give the brand the ability to lock down the titles, descriptions, and photos so no one can make up things about people endorsing their product or changing the name or changing the price. And then of course, because we have the seller's data and we have the brand's data, we can leverage that with AI and predictive analytics and help increase the revenue and money for everybody on the platform. And so our strategy is clear. Make it simple for LaunchCart sellers to build a store, source products on demand, and sell products on a dropship basis. Make it simple for brands and manufacturers to offer products wholesale to sellers and fulfill products on a dropship basis, and leverage data, predictive analytics, and artificial intelligence to optimize the ROI for every seller, every brand, every manufacturer on the platform. So I hope you guys really kind of get the significance of what we're doing and how we're simplifying that for people. And it really is exciting. Okay, so I'm going to roll into the revenue streams, and then we're going to wrap things up here. So we're a typical SaaS company, and we love about SaaS is SaaS gets significant multiples in the marketplace. I think Shopify had 100 times multiple, but we have a SaaS platforms that go from $27 a month up to $497 a month. We also have a done-for-you store building service. You come to us, go, Greg, I want to have a store. We're going to do done-for-you stores. We charge between $1,500 and $5,000, so very affordable. And then we got the Source and Sell Marketplace. We will have subscription and transaction fees. So we're going to take transaction fees on all the products that go through the marketplace. And then we'll charge subscriptions to lower the transaction fees to the sellers and for premium brands. And then, of course, we do digital product e-learning. We have subscriptions and purchases. We have Launch Academy, and we sell that for 40 to 47 to 97 a month. And we have other platforms and things we sell from like 1,000 to 5,000, where we're teaching people how to make money online and fire their boss, so to speak, and do digital marketing. And these are three very hot sectors. They all tie in together and they all support one another. Okay. As far as the team, I don't have a lot of time to go into the team here. Obviously, we meet with you one-on-one. We can talk about this. I'm a former investment banker, as I said before, married for 39 years, a Christian man and a man of faith, and I'm a patriot. I'm capitalism, and I have a lot of experience in e-commerce. I actually bought one of the first e-commerce malls back in 1997. Brian Delaney is one of the top digital marketers in the world. Tony Robbins said he's one of the best, and he's committed to coming on after our funding, post-funding. My son Joshua was the director of our technology. John Zendowski, our fractional CFO, he's had 9 exits, and he's just an amazing CFO with some incredible technology. Bertrand Nocella is been with Google for 16 years. He's an amazing advisor. Bern Ullman's done over $6 billion worth of deals with brands, former partners with Tommy Hilfiger. And Jeff is our lead investor, our board member, and the CEO of Angel Investors Network. So we have a good team here to build on. And then we also have been starting a brand ambassador program. Obviously, in this day and age, you have to have influencers and brand ambassadors. And we have some significant brand ambassadors, and we're continuing to add brand ambassadors. Kevin and Sam Sorbo are happy LaunchCart customers and brand ambassadors. Just got a video from them yesterday we're going to release. Nathan Osmond from the famous Osmond family is a brand ambassador. Lindsey Graham. This gentleman on the bottom left, Shane Bouvet, he went to work for Donald Trump in the 2015 timeframe and did a great job for the campaign, got to meet Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump found out that his father had cancer, but they didn't have insurance. And Donald Trump paid $200,000 of chemo treatment fees to Shane's dad. Now, that's an amazing story. So he's got a relationship with Mr. Trump and the family that other people don't have. And he's one of our brand ambassadors and customers. And Gary Franchi, he has the Next News Network. He's got over 2 million subscribers on YouTube. He's a big brand ambassador as well. So, and these are all, risk reducers, right? The fact that these people are lending us their name, giving us their credibility, those are risk reducers, right? And then you got the proof of market validation, which again are risk reducers. And we originally launched where people could set up a store for free. So this number is high because people could set up stores for free in our early stages. But now we charge $27 a month. We've done over 32,000 orders, representing over $2 million of volume on the platform. We officially launched in 2022. And we've launched an agency certification program where we teach agencies how to build stores on our platform. And they go through an extensive 7-week training course and become expert store builders on our platform. We have 61 agencies who've been certified. And again, like I showed you, we have multiple e-commerce influencers. So what we're doing is we are currently doing $1 million bridge round to our Series A with a minimum investment of $50,000, $2 a share. Plus, we're offering a bonus warrants. This offering is going to go away in the next couple of weeks. And with our bonus warrants, we're offering 10-cent warrants to go with this $2 share, which enables you to lower your average cost per share down to about $1.05. And that gives us about a $15 million pre-money valuation. And then from there, we plan on rolling into a Series A in about 4 to 5, 6 months and raise close to probably $10 million and then position ourselves for an IPO acquisition in 3 to 5 years. As I said at the beginning, I'm a former investment banker. I've taken a lot of companies public, and I have a lot of experience in this. The use of proceeds for this round, and I'm going to show you one more thing because I think that the next thing I'm going to show you is so exciting. We're going to allocate a couple $100,000 for what we call sweepstakes marketing, which I'm going to show you next, and then we're going to wrap it up. And then just $300,000 in advertising all of our other products and services, a couple $100,000 in software development, and then we're going to put $300,000 into the roadshow and marketing our Series A, because obviously with the capital, we have the team, we have the technology, we have market validation, we have a huge market share. Now we got to raise that next round, and with that next money, we can really start to take market share. So I am working for the investors and working for you, and obviously you're going to get access to my cell phone number and everything we can do. And if you just write this down, launchcart.com/indication, and plus I'm going to give you guys a link too to go on. But let me show you. So that's pretty exciting. I want to share with you one other quick story, and then we'll be done in like 10 minutes for 5 minutes, 10 minutes for Q&A, but this is really exciting. So I got to tell you a story. I went to an event, and at this event was a bunch of NFL football players, and one of the football players was up on stage. He was speaking to the group, and he said he went to work selling jet time. He got hurt and couldn't play in the NFL anymore. And then he started selling jet time for a jet company, and then he bought his own jet. And he says, I did an e-commerce sweepstakes. I'm like, e-commerce sweepstakes, what's that? So I started listening intently. And he goes, well, what I did is I did a sweepstakes where I'm going to pick you up in my private jet. I'm going to take you and a friend, and you 2 tickets to the NBA All-Star game. So you get picked up on a private jet. You get to go to the NBA All-Star game. You get hotels, and then I fly you home. And what he did is he went to Ja Morant, who was a basketball player, had 9 million fans, who was a client of his. And he said, Ja, I'll pay you $500,000 in jet time if you'll make a video telling people to enter my e-commerce sweepstakes. He did. They sold 160,000 t-shirts and hoodies in 8 days. 8 days. They did $16 million in 8 days. And after paying all expenses, jet time, tickets to the NBA, hotels, everything, Ja Morant, they made $5 million in net profit. Now, I don't know about you, but if I can make that kind of money, I'm like, I'm in. So we started Launch Sweepstakes. We have a new subsidiary called Launch Sweepstakes, and we have a new subsidiary that its big idea is to empower small businesses, nonprofits, and brands to run large-scale, high-impact sweepstakes once reserved for the Fortune 500. Launch Sweepstakes will manage the entire process, making it simple to drive growth, donations, and engagement like never before. And just again, to give you an idea how big this industry is, I Googled, airline sweepstakes, and Frontier's doing sweepstakes, JetBlue's doing sweepstakes, Elon Musk is doing sweepstakes, Kiss Charity was doing sweepstakes. And you go, well, what is an e-commerce sweepstakes? How does this work? Basically, you have a store with t-shirts, hats, and hoodies, whatever it is, your could be your gym equipment, it could be your nutritional supplements. They go to your store, they shop, and when they check out, they're entered, right? So we came across this company right here, and we're under contract to buy this company right here. This company is 6 years old, and what they do is they buy a truck, they make the truck all cool and trick it out, and they give away a truck and 50,000 cash every 3 weeks. And they've been doing this for 6 years. They sell t-shirts, hats, and hoodies. They did $31.5 million in revenue last year. Then there's another company. I'm going to come back to that in a second. There's another company we came across that does this with Jeeps. And then there's another company we came across that does this with cars. And there's another company, the Vanderpumps. They're doing it to raise money for their foundation. Then we came across these influencers, the Hodge twins. They're doing it they did 30 million last year, giving away 7 cars. And then this company, this couple has a child that's going blind, and they do e-commerce sweepstakes to raise money for childhood blindness. I'm like, this is amazing. And then we're working with some people associated with the Trump campaign to do the MAGA giveaway and go have dinner at Mar-a-Lago. And then what we've done is we've hired and we've retained American Sweepstakes, and it's America's leading sweepstakes management company. And they do all the legal work. They dot all the I's, cut all the T's. They give us $2 million of insurance. They bond, surety bonds, all that kind of stuff. And their clients are Sandals and Wendy's and Chick-fil-A and Walmart and Cars.com and TJ Maxx. And so we've seen these sweepstakes going on. Now we're bringing them down to the smaller companies. So what we did is we went under contract to buy that company Legend for $8.7 million. Now, currently we have a commitment to borrow the money to buy this brand. And this is really significant for you listening right now, because if you invest in our company right now, and I got to say, if or when we close this deal, the valuation of LaunchCart will probably double, if not triple. And I'll make that case here in a second. But we're under contract to buy this company for $8.7 million. We're putting $5 million down, and then we're financing $3.7 million over, that should say 3 years. It's 3 years. Okay. We're buying their digital assets, their domain name, their social media, their opt-in list. They have a buyers list of 650,000 buyers. They have 160,000 people on their SMS text messaging list, all their CRM history and analytical data, and their ad account history, where they spent over $17 million in ads. All they do is buy traffic. This is their revenue growth the last 3 years. They were projected to hit 29.5 million in 2024. They hit 31.5 million. Okay, we have a complete deal room and financial documents, including offering documents, financial documents, tax returns, offering documents. We've done our due diligence. The people that are committed to giving us $7 million loan to buy this business is all gone through here and done their due diligence, and we're in that negotiation. Again, American Sweepstakes also does the compliance for this brand. I want to share with you something really interesting. So I said to myself, let's go and let me ask ChatGTP about this brand. So this brand averages 4.8% conversion rate. So I said, hey, if I have a Shopify store that has a conversion rate of 4.8%, how does that compare in the marketplace? ChatGTP came back and said, with a conversion rate of 4.08%, your Shopify store is performing exceptionally well compared to industry benchmarks. Top 20% of Shopify stores are above 3.2%. Top 10% are above 4.7. So therefore, your store with 4.8 is in the top 20 and approaching the top 10. So this brand that we're under contract to buy is in the top 10% of all Shopify stores. So then I said, okay, and my store had 9,764,000 online store visitor sessions. They had 9.7 million people come to their store last year, all from buying traffic. It says, wow, having that is a huge number, putting your Shopify store in upper tier of traffic. Shopify doesn't publish the exact numbers, but stores with over 1 million sessions annually are in the top 1%. With nearly 10 million sessions, your store is likely in the top 0.01% of all Shopify stores. Now, of course, our vision would be to move them to launch card at some point, but we don't want to break anything that, we're just going to buy. We're buying revenue and EBITDA, as well as the list that we can leverage to do our own sweepstakes and make a lot of money. Okay. And then I came down here and I said, okay, how do we know how many stores Shopify has? And they said there's 5.54 million, right? And then they came back and said, okay, if we have 3.5 million EBITDA, how does that compare? And it says, okay, we have a 12.9% EBITDA margin. And it says typical Shopify stores are operated at 5 to 10% EBITDA. Well-optimized stores, 10 to 15% EBITDA. So elite stores are 15 to 20%. So it said at 12.9%, you're in the top tier of Shopify stores. Your EBITDA margin suggests strong cost control and a well-optimized business model. So this is, again, ChatGPT and the world's best AI telling us that this brand that we're buying is amazing. Then I said, what's the valuation of this? And said, okay, e-commerce businesses typically sell for 4 to 6 times EBITDA, depending on growth and brand strength. So at 4 times EBITDA, this brand is worth 14 million. At 6 times EBITDA, it's worth 21 million. And you go, wait a sec, Greg, well, how did you get it under contract for 8.7 million if it's worth 14 million? Well, we went into contract with them last year and we based our valuation off 2022 and 2023 blended EBITDA. So now the company did so well, we are in a great position to make this acquisition, and we're gonna basically buy this brand and leverage this brand to take our launch sweepstakes. And we think we can take this brand with our digital marketing skills and our celebrity contacts and everything we're doing to $100 million in the next 3 years, just the launch sweepstakes. And then we leverage the launch sweepstakes model to help brands on LaunchCart's platform launch and scale. So for instance, I'll give you one example and then we'll open up for Q&A. One example would be, I had a golf nutritional supplement company to me. They said, we make supplements for 45-year-old men to 80-year-old men to help give them some supplements to help them get through an 18-hole round of golf. I said, okay, what's the number one thing those golfers want? They want to go to that right there. See right there, that's the Masters. That's Jack Nicklaus walking at the Masters with Arnold Palmer and Tiger Woods. I'm a golfer. We want to go to the Masters. So what if we did a sweepstakes going, hey, go to the store, buy the nutritional supplements, and every time you buy, you get entries to win a plane flight and 2 tickets to the Masters for you and a friend. I said, we'll build the biggest list and do $1 million in revenue in a month. So we're going to leverage this platform to do things like that. So that's my presentation. I'm very, very interested to talk to you. Hopefully you have an interest in talking to me, and I'm going to put in this link, and let me share my screen one more time. So basically, I'm going to give you 2 links that you can click on and look at. There we go. So it's this indication of interest link right here, and it's just basically 2 form. It says, hey, this is a non-binding indication of interest. Tell me your credit. Tell me what's going on, and then we'll set up a call, and I'll put that in the chat right now. And then I have another link that is kind of like a funnel, and it's an investor funnel. And basically what happens is you're going to opt in. You're going to say, I want some more money. I want to read some stuff on my own before I talk to you, Greg. It's going to bring you to a page that looks like this, where you can put your indication of interest. You can download the Patriots deck. You can download the deck I just went through. You can look at our team. I have a video on our team. I have a video on our team building strategy. I have a video on our marketing and growth strategy. I have our video on our pathway to profits. And I've broken everything down to what we're doing. And I even wanted to show you this one thing right here. So this is our lead investor from Angel Investors Network, and I'm going to play one video if you guys don't mind. Let's see how much time we got. Yeah, but this was just a quick video. Let me see this.
Hi there, LaunchCart potential investors. My name is Jeff Hilovsky, and I'm proud and happy to be a LaunchCart investor. And here's the reason why. I believe in Greg. I believe in Greg Reiter and his integrity and his ability to do what he says he's going to do on a consistent basis. His goal and his vision and his team's vision is to provide and empower individuals all over the world to join the e-commerce wave. As we know, this is going to be a powerful way to do business in the future, as it is now, and it's only going to grow. By democratizing this process and enabling superpowers that many other sites charge large fees for, Greg and his freemium model, along with his team, are going to provide access to building a web store so that you can sell all sorts of products all over the world and make some money doing it. So he's going to elevate the opportunities that everyone has to become a successful entrepreneur. The other thing I really like about Greg is that he's very transparent. To have contact with a CEO of a startup company on a consistent basis, like he invites everyone, every shareholder, to his C-suite calls on Friday to give us updates. These updates are both the successes and also some of the challenges that are experienced when looking and building a platform on the internet. So we get to see everything, every little wart and everything, every big smile that comes to the forefront on the challenge and opportunities that website development like LaunchCart has. In addition to that, in a lot of these alternative investments, there are many big stakeholders who have no money in the game. They have no skin in the game. Well, let me tell you, I believe, and it is proven, that Greg is all in. So when you have somebody who has risked his own money to make sure that this is a success, that should tell you something. And that should actually provide an entree for you to invest and a reason to invest. So I hope to see you on the next video call as an investor in LaunchCart and watch this platform and progress and this company grow into a huge challenger for Shopify, Etsy, and BigCommerce. Take care.
So that was one of my early investors, and I love sharing that endorsement. So I'm going to put in a link to get into my investor funnel, and you guys can opt in there and take time to look at more stuff. So I'm going to put this link in here, 24, boom, and then I'm going to put in my personal email address and phone number. There we go. So that is that. So let's open it up for questions. Anyone got any questions, comments? I still see a number of people on the call. I would love to answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah, perfect. Great information. A lot of information there. So yeah, if anybody in attendance now has any questions, oh, it looks like Greg, it looks like you sent those links to the hosts and panelists rather than the attendees. So maybe if you could just copy them, and you see where it says two. If you just make sure everyone's checked.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up, Julie.
I'm new to I use this other platform called StreamYard. So this is like the first time I've used Zoom in like 2 years, actually, to be honest with you. So there we go. There we go.
Yeah, and if anybody has any questions about anything that Greg went over today, please ask them in the Q&A or the chat. Um, Again, if people who are watching this recording in the future may have the same questions, so you're doing them a service. Um, I'm not seeing any questions come in. I'm hoping you guys are typing.
Yeah, and for me, I always ask people just, try to be polite and just say, I want feedback, good, bad, indifferent. You didn't like it. It was too confusing. I didn't understand it. Because here I live and eat, breathe this, and like my investor Jeff just said, I'm all in. I've sold every stock, every bond, everything. I am I have the most to gain. This company, the more successful this company is, the more me and my family and my legacy is I have the most to gain. So I am 100% all in. And I'm an empty nester. I have 5 kids, an empty nester, so I work a lot. But I'm not complaining. I'm just I love my business. I love what I'm doing. I'm so passionate about what we're doing. I'm a 14-hour day guy. I'm going nonstop. So I would love to answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah, well, credit to you. Um, Watching the chat, watching the Q&A. What's the most popular question you tend to get with these presentations, Greg? If you want
Well,
to touch on
again,
that for a little bit.
one of the most popular ones I get is can I invest in my IRA? Right. That's why we're here with you because I went and said I got a partner. So we've been recommending people to Chemaplan. We think you guys are awesome. We're going to continue to recommend people to you. So that's one of the things. And then the other thing is just the exit, with my background, there's no doubt we're going to take the company public and create an exit for everybody because I'm 63 years old and I need to create an exit for myself. And we also have, for those larger investors who might be able to do 100,000 to 500,000, we also have a convertible note. We're going, hey, I don't want to tie my money up for 3 to 5 years. We have a convertible note. We're paying 12% interest on a convertible note, quarterly interest on your money with some stock warrants as a kicker for that as well. So we have one lady, she's like, Greg, I got a lot of money, but I don't want to be tied up for a long time. She goes, I'll do a year convertible note and I'll roll it over and then I might convert into stock if you end up getting bought out in the meantime or something happens. But she goes, I just want to make money. I just want to give you capital to grow. And if you're going to pay me 12%. So the lender who's lending me the money to buy Legend is a 7-year loan, 12% on our money, and with our cash flow from that acquisition, our cash flow from the sweepstakes model, we easily can pay 12% on the capital and not have to worry about it. And then I know that once I acquire that brand, going back to if you guys get in at $2 a share plus your 10-cent warrants, you're in at like $1.05 a share. That's a $15 million valuation. Now we acquire that brand and we combine the revenues and combine that EBITDA, our valuation is going to go to probably 60 million. So it's a smoking deal. And again, there's always a risk. I might not happen, might not close. We might go out of business. There's always a risk. And of course, you're not going to invest. No, I'm not going to, we have to have the documents and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at the risk return ratio, the fact that we're up and operational, we have a solid team, we have product market fit, market validation. You guys are getting in at the right time if this is right for your portfolio.
Good information there. It looks like we don't have any questions. People might want to take them offline, or your presentation was so encompassing of everything that they didn't you didn't leave any questions for them. So I think we'll wrap it up, and I'd like to thank Greg for sharing his time and all of the information, and all the energy. Anybody who's attended live and watched the presentation from start to finish, and anybody who may be watching this recording in the future. One last thank you to Greg. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you very much. And then Marion is asking about the webinar replay. Will you send us out a link and will I get a link too?
Yeah, absolutely. We have to process it and edit it just a little bit. So I imagine everybody who registered for the presentation, including you, Greg, will receive a copy of the recording probably early tomorrow, but it could be before the end of the day tomorrow. Today,
Okay.
end of the day
Okay.
today, excuse me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And as I said in that other video, I always end by saying, do what I do, wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude and tell somebody you love them, and you'll have a better day. Thank you, everybody.